5, 6, 7, 8. Dance with me in my backyard, boy. Looking super fine in your corduroy.
Into creepypasta, monsters, or just horror in general, you've likely heard his name, Trevor Henderson. Maybe you know him as Slimy Swamp Ghost, to each their own. Found footage phenom, abyssal art expert, the Canadian horror illustrator has been posting his terrifying creations online for years and has recently been launched into the viral spotlight with a second wave of Siren Head popularity. While it may be his most well-known creature, it's simply one example of the fear-inducing freaks he's dreamed up. There are dozens of creatures, all just as creepy in his repertoire. We're all just waiting for a few more to acquire meme god status and maybe cross over into our living world. Hello horror heads, and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos. I'm your horror host, Keegan Hughes, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 scary Trevor Henderson creatures. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe for more digital demons. If you find yourself particularly enthused by any of these creatures, make sure to check out more of Trevor's art at the source and maybe buy a print or two. Artist Gotta Eat. Links to all of his stuff are down in the description. Perfect, let's get going. Coming in at number 5, we've got the Smile Room. Teeth. Any instance of dental demonism just freaks me right out. So the Smile Room is particularly upsetting. Just looking at the most well-known instance is a terrifying ordeal. Imagine opening a door and it's just teeth on the other side. No nightmares compare. The horror doesn't stop at the visual shock either, it keeps going and going. The Smile Room was a name given to this creature after the original sighting. Some teens broke into an amusement complex known as Neb's Fun World and wandered around. Eventually they came across a door labeled the Smile Room and must have opened it up to see what was inside. I've been to Neb's before and I can attest that there is no such room. Now, I say they must have opened the door because nobody really knows what happened to them. A friend was waiting outside and didn't hear from them for hours. He went inside and found one of their phones discarded on the ground. It's on this device that the ever-famous image of gigantic teeth taking up a doorway was found. The owner of the phone, though, was never discovered. Upon investigating, nobody was able to find the Smile Room at Neb's, but it has appeared elsewhere. It seems that the room itself isn't a fixed location, but a creation of a host. The host being will move from place to place, creating similar false rooms and luring people in. It's unknown what happens to individuals who enter such a room. However, Trevor tweeted a picture of a humanoid entity known as the Smile Room host, implying that victims may be transformed into beings meant to attract more victims. Teeth and traps. How terrifying. Coming in at number 4, we've got the Country Road Creature. Let's just say you don't want this country road taking you home. West Virginia mountain mamas, beware. This creature feels like the physical embodiment of creepypasta at its core. It's a long-limbed, pale humanoid that stalks the dark, forested roads at night. The only images of it seem to be captured quickly while it's on the move. Anything more would be too much to bear. Uncanny Valley doesn't even begin to describe the pit of terror this beast opens up in your stomach. It has human features, but is entirely inhuman. Often when displayed in a photo, it will have noticed the photographer and turned its grotesque head to look at them. I can't imagine they would have lasted much longer after snapping the shot. The Country Road Creature is known for hunting humans on back roads in its spider-like form, but has also been seen in other situations. Some have claimed to encounter it in cities and even in their homes, with its long clawed hands making appearances on the sides of buildings and in stairwells. The worst bit, though, is that this abomination can possibly take quasi-human form. It's hypothesized that it can shrink down to normal human size and don clothing to trick people into feeling safe. Then, when their guard is down, it can demolish them. A Trojan horse for the modern internet era. Coming in at number 3, we've got bridge worms. Beware those who wear false faces. It's good advice, especially when dealing with these guys. These infrastructure-dwelling beasts tend to wear a false face that looks a little like strong sad. Don't let the marshmallowy, melancholic mug trick you into asking it what's wrong though. Get too close and they'll show you their real face. The skin pulls back from their front-facing visage and reveals quite a horrific, fleshy mess of sinew and teeth. It's really quite disturbing. A bridge worm will spend a good deal of its time lurking under bridges, as the name implies. They keep their sad face on, hoping to lure unsuspecting prey in. Once the prey is close enough, they will devour them and set up for the next victim. Of course, as the bridge worm continues to find prey, their reputations grow. This means that people might start avoiding their bridges, leading to depleted food supplies. If this happens, bridge worms have been known to leave their lairs under cover of darkness to seek more nutrition. So it is very possible that one might run into a gigantic white mask-wearing predator while out and about at night. It seems that bridge worms become more sophisticated as they age too. Their facial markings become more expressive and their bodies become larger and more muscular. Even a young bridge worm is a dangerous threat. Imagine encountering a fully grown one. The more people they encounter, the more they learn about hunting us. Good luck out there. Coming in at number 2, we've got Cartoon Cat. Now we're into the truly evil stuff. A lot of the monsters we talked about earlier are creatures of habit. They hunt to live or just because it's all they know. But Cartoon Cat is a sadistic, malicious being hell-bent on causing pain and agony. It's a terror above other terrors. Taking on the form of a huge animated cat, this big-eyed beast is a force to be reckoned with. Often it'll show up in photos where you can only see its cartoonish eyes and sharp, grisly teeth. At first, it only seemed like Cartoon Cat was stalking people, but as more information cropped up, folks started to realize how sinister it really was. Many people have vanished after being followed by Cartoon Cat, and information about these disappearances is hard to come by. In fact, a lot of information about Cartoon Cat in general is redacted and expunged, giving the impression that there's some stuff too terrifying for our sensitive little eyes. Trevor himself ranks this retro creature very highly on the danger scale. He claims that other monsters and cryptids actively avoid it if they know what's good for them, and that a lot of Cartoon Cat's powers come from unchecked limitations. That's not a phrase you want associated with the sadistic monster now, is it? Add in some apparent shape-shifting abilities and you've got a truly upsetting cat. The 30s style cartoonishness extends beyond just aesthetics too. Cartoon Cat has the ability to warp and bend and stretch and commit acts of atrocious violence, just like cartoon characters from that era. He's malleable, in short. This lets him defy the laws of physics in ways that many other creatures could only dream of. It would be quite the upsetting sight to behold too. Think about it. If you saw a black and white cartoonish cat shifting and changing before your eyes, wouldn't you want to scrub your brain out with a wire brush? Be honest. And finally, at number 1, we've got the man with the upside down face. If there's one Henderson-verse creature that can compete with Cartoon Cat for the position of head honcho, it's this guy. Get it? Head honcho? I'll see myself out. Not only is this man horrible to look at, he tends to enact some of the most heinous evil possible to get his rocks off. The man with the upside down face has appeared near countless tragic accidents and disasters. Car crashes, house fires, train wrecks, you name it. He'll be there. In fact, it's possible that he influences a lot of these awful occurrences. Looking through historic photographs, you're likely to see this fellow in the backgrounds of all sorts of images featuring massive amounts of human suffering. He somehow feeds on these negative emotions. They sustain him. I'm sure once he found this out, he sought to cause more agony than ever before. And I'm sure you already knew this, but the man's face is upside down. The rest of him seems to be pretty normal, but the face definitely stands out. This might not seem too scary, but it is jarring when you pick him out of a crowd. You'll never find him in a real crowd though. Whenever he's causing trouble, he'll be invisible to the naked eye. It's only afterwards, when photos are developed, that one might be able to see his flipped lid. In the end, the man is a hateful leech. He's been described as a bottom feeder and is drawn to tragedies that occur. I think my favorite description of him comes from Trevor himself, who says that out of all his monsters, the man with the upside down face is the pettiest asshole of the bunch. A glowing review from the man upstairs. Me, oh my, how does he do it? There are so many memorable monsters made by Trevor Henderson, it's hard to rank a top 5, but I did it for you.